Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bringing you coverage from a great event from the cultured athlete, a.k.a. Brandon London of the Montreal Alouettes. And we're going to go right into some of the footage that we've captured from today's event.
I don't know if they call it auditioning, though I can't really announce it, but if all goes well, I will be
the new host for a morning show.
The new host for a morning show.
LA.
So that's what I'm going out there to LA for. It all just happened today. I'm sorry that I have to run up out of here. I thank you guys for coming up and supporting this event, supporting me, cultured athlete, middle frame sports, make a play.
Having a plan B. At what point did you realize, football may not be, let's say, a 40-year career? At what point did you start to think, I have to have a plan B?
It was 2011 when I got released by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I put everything I could into making that team. And they had drafted Antonio Brown, who's obviously a star, and Emmanuel Sanders, who's really turned into a star. And those young guys, since they produced so early, it kind of left me on the outside of the loop. And I thought I had a pretty decent camp. I knew I worked out pretty well and got ready for training camp. And it was just something that was just like, maybe NFL football may not be that thing for you. And when I told myself that, when I got called by the Montreal Alouettes in the CFL, I told myself I was going to start looking to make that transition a little bit easier. Because, no disrespect, I knew I wasn't going to want to be in the CFL for a long time. I was going to try and play till I was 35. So I started taking the acting lessons and hosting lessons and any type of lessons you can take to be on camera. One thing just led to the next, man.
Well, we constantly try to do things to impact the lives of others in Montreal and different cities in which we visit. So if he's going to be doing something and it's important to him, it has to be important to me because he's been supporting me for years. So I feel like he scratches my back, I scratch his, and for that we both become better people.
Now that ties right into your foundation, the Kai Cares Foundation. Talk a little bit about what that does to impact the community.
Well, Kai Cares Foundation was initially founded to work with young people in the community in which I grew up, in the community in which I played in. But over years we've grown, and now we began to do work with Cedars Cancer Institute in Canada, Alzheimer's Foundation in Tennessee, and here we are. I'm representing Kai Cares Foundation tonight all the way in New York City.
So I think it's very important that young people see that you have multiple things going on, that you should be doing multiple things, because people look at you as a brand now, especially these young people. It's all about your brand and your image and their social media. And so, it only benefits you in the long haul to do multiple things. Absolutely. I mean, Brandon is, since I met him, he's been a hustler. And he has a work ethic and a drive and a passion that you don't see a lot of these days. I think a lot of young people, they just want it, but they don't understand that it takes hard work and dedication and discipline to actually do it and to achieve your dream. So Brandon is he's the ultimate hustler. I mean, even during football season, he's creating content, putting content out constantly on his site, always trying to network at events with other media professionals. He doesn't need to sleep. He's like, I don't sleep. He's like, I don't care. It's important, and he just does it because it's just something that is in his heart and that he has that drive for. So.
Tell you the truth, I was sitting in special teams meeting up in Canada, up in the CFL, and I was just scribbling in a notebook, and I was just thinking, how am I going to brand myself? What's going to be my niche? Because as you know, any top NFL player, when he's done playing, he's going to get that broadcasting job. So I never really wanted to make it about the actual sport, broadcasting and such, the on-the-field play. I really wanted to bring fans into the lives of what we do off the field. So I'm thinking, what's the name I could give myself? Because I'm constantly giving myself nicknames. So it turned into something where it's like cultured athlete. That sounds cool. Let's talk about all things sports culture, from tattoos to finding houses for real estate, what we do off the field. I'm all about that. So I've kind of branded myself as this sports entertainment, sports lifestyle guy, and I'm just trying to bring that fan into that world of what we live off the field.
Now, Joe, you painted the outstanding painting of Brandon London, which is a great painting. What was the inspiration behind that?
Well, I read up about him. I love the name London, first of all.
I lived in England for 3 years.
Okay.
So I really think Brandon London is a cool name. So I don't know. I just did a whole bunch of research on him and followed his career, and then I just found this beautiful action shot of him catching a ball and one of him throwing the ball, and I kind of just wanted to incorporate it in one painting. Wanted to capture his big muscles in the arms. So.
Now, the funny part is football is a lot like art.
Yeah.
You kind of do things as you go along.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself, let's say, once you started to paint?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, let me change this up. Let me call
yeah.
and do it this way.
Listen, man. Art's like it's all the same. You got to change. Yeah. I did an original sketch and then had to change the elevation of the head and the way I wanted the helmets, and then the arms caused me problems because I'm an abstract expressionist, so I don't do fine details. So just to get his hands look like they're catching the ball took me a while, man. It took me a couple of days. So yeah, just you're working it as it goes along. My website is called Rainbow Walls. Like my paintings are very colorful. Picture a rainbow and picture a wall. So you put rainbows on walls. RainbowWalls.com.
Now the trip part is you're a skateboarder, which is a lot of athleticism involved, and being in the moment is important. So how do the two coincide, and what you got going on with why you're here supporting Brandon London and his event?
All right, so as a skateboarder, it's like the rolling kung fu. It's something that you can never master. Even Sifu Shi and Ming can't do kickflip. So it's very difficult as an art form. It's like a ballet, like a dance. Now, that art form gives you the mind of an inventor. Every time you go to a new spot, you got to think of something to do that no one else has done. And so you do that year after year, 20 years into it, you look at the world as your playground. And how can you manipulate it to do whatever you want there? And then you get into art, and here you find the same thing. Like, in my mind, if I want to do a line and film it on a skateboard, I get to the spot, I film the trick, and I do it. And when the person is a poet that does freestyle rap, they get a beat, they see the words of the spot that goes to the beat, they try it over and over, and then boom, next thing you know, they put it together. It's one and the same. Whether it's art or sports and arts in minds and hearts is how you win it all. So what I got going on right now is called 100gates.nyc. And with the 100 Gates Project, we want to grant from the Small Business Services of New York City to be able to get artists the art stipend to pay them to paint the roll gates throughout New York City. Because by the gates of art, we enter the temple of happiness. So as each gate is painted, it's like somebody's lawn getting mowed and everybody else is still full of it. So it gets nicer and nicer, and then eventually you have an open-air public art gallery for people to come and enjoy in New York City.
Now, you mentioned Make a Play. Explain a little bit more about what Make a Play is all about and what it brings to the table.
So Make a Play is not football, but it is basketball. So it's a basketball organization where we take these kids, whether they're from the east side, the west side, uptown, downtown, we bring them on the court, make them realize that whatever you learn on the court, take it to the classroom, take it to the streets, take it to wherever, but use that and instill it for the positive side of you. So it's athletics, it's academics, it's basically creating something in you, just to be a positive influence in life. So taking the sport on the court and off the court as well. People can find out more about Make Play on makeplay.org. So we are a nonprofit.
Okay.
And yeah, we want to branch out to football, soccer, baseball, whatever it may be, not just basketball. We want you to take your sport, whatever your craft is, and instill it into your academics. And then you can go to, I don't know, you can go to Temple, you can go to Duke, you can go to Kentucky. Use whatever it is with sports and take it to the classroom.
Now we're here. Brandon has done a great event. Brandon London has done a great event, and you guys are also unveiling a nice little teaser for everybody. What's your role and what you have going on, and how you tie into this whole event?
Well, I met Brandon. We met Brandon. Me and my partner, Dane. We met Brandon in 2011.
Okay.
We worked with him. We got a cool relationship. Got to know him better. I seen his aspirations, like you said. He was multi-layered. He wanted to do more than just football. So we kind of helped him out visually, and it just continued to basically go up. And we continue to do cool stuff, cool little things, and finally, now that he's kind of at the end of his career, the secondary part, the layered part comes in. Now he's looking into doing bigger and better things. We're just there to kind of make sure that those things get done visually and great, because the main thing now more than ever is that you can't cheat the eye anymore. There's cameras everywhere. You can't cheat the eye. Quality, people know quality now. People respect that. People love details. And I think that for a football player who all he thought about was football, he didn't have time to worry about those things that are so essential in life. So now we're taking his talents and his skill and we're adding our visual into it and basically putting it together and creating a gumbo of just series of people. We want to show the different side of sports, So we have a series called Day One, where we're going to be interviewing, we're going to be documenting, we're going to be just showing the other side of sports, like the hustle, the waking up 5 a.m. to run 12 miles, the hard work. Because I think that one thing too is that in the urban community, most of our kids or kids growing up, they feel like football is the way out.
Right.
They feel sports is the way out, which is fine. But we don't want that to be the only way out, because you can't depend on something. You have 100 people doing the same thing. You have to understand when it's time to let it go. You know what I'm saying? So we also want to show how hard is it to get there, because it may help someone say, you know what, football ain't for me. I need to change this. I need to be a doctor. I need to help someone in a different point. So it's more than just trying to show the side of football. It's also trying to show what it takes. Now, the person who believes that they're good enough and they believe in themselves is the person who's going to watch the series and say, you know what, I can do this. And it's going to motivate them better, because now they're prepared. They're going to see what they do. A lot of times, our urban kids, they don't get to see the inside. They don't know what college looks like. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what the inside of an amazingly run football academy. They've never even been in the walls to kind of experience that. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to show that side of sports.
If there's a class or something that that you're interested in, there's some sort of passion, go take a look at that passion. Go, like, for me, I should have been a theater major at UMass. My academic advisor sat me in my head coach's office and say, Coach, Brandon's trying to take the easy way out. He wants to take sociology. I'm telling him he should be a theater major. The kid's got something. He should do it. But I was sitting there talking to my coach, like, Coach, look, man, I'm just going to the NFL for 10 years. I'm not going to need it. I'm not going to need theater. I'm not going to need to do anything. Now, look, I'm enrolled in Montreal School of Performing Arts when I'm up playing in Canada. I'm taking acting lessons down here in New York, LA, hosting classes. So now, look, so if there's anything, one of you kids, anything out there that you feel passionate about, just go take a look into it. That doesn't necessarily have to take you away from your grind, your NFL grind, because really, failure's not an option, for that. But one day, that thing, that passion could take over for football one day and just make that transition easy. Hey, man, thank you for having me. Thank you for showing up to the event. And I just let my story be told, man. This is one of those guys who I'm just not going to take no for an answer, man. I've heard no so many times in auditions and got cut so many times from various football teams. I'm just not going to take no for an answer. I know my worth. I know what I want to be. I see myself up there. I'm just going to go live up there, man.